Okay, so I'm getting started on this again. I realized I've got another part that I need to solder. This is going to be the coil that's used for detecting the milliamps, or actually not milliamps, the amps that the car is drawing when it's charging. So I'm just going to solder that connector on. And it is going to be plugged into the circuit board on this 2-pin header here, and then the ground fault protection coil, it's going to go into this 3-pin header. And the instructions don't talk about this needing to go any particular way, so I'm just going to make sure that that's right, but it looks like you can plug it in any way that you want. Then the other thing that I was looking at was this part. The instructions don't talk about this at all. I just looked at the part online, and it's a MOV, and it's used to protect against transient voltage spikes. And I think what I need to do is put it between the two sides of the contactor. But I need to go and kind of read up on that a little bit more. So this is just a connector hookup job. Real easy to do, hopefully. Okay, so now you got to do a hookup between the AC test and the contactor. So I just crimped one of these connectors onto a black wire to match the picture, and it runs right there. And just making sure I don't squeeze down on the plastic of the wire. Okay, and now for the relay outputs, they go to the sides here of the contactor on each side. So that one will go here. And this one is the second one. It goes on the other side of the contactor. So I think the microcontroller just energizes the coil here on the contactor, and that makes the connection between these two sides. So you get your 120 volts and your 120 volts. So you get your 240 volts when this is energized. So for the MOV here, I guess you would connect that between these two. And I don't have any more of these connectors here to put onto it. I think it would just go like that. I think that's the idea. Actually, I bought some spade connectors on accident one day. Yeah, these look like the same size. Okay, yeah. So if this is where it goes, I guess I would connect it. I could just crimp that on there and plug it in. So I guess I'll go ahead and make this and stick it on, since I can remove it if it's not in the right spot. Well, this is definitely one of those situations where the right tool for the job is needed. So I kind of got It's still, see how it's wiggling around? It's just not good enough. This one's loose too, so yeah, I'm not quite sure how this is supposed to be mounted on here, but I think something like that. I think that's what you're supposed to do. All right, so there it is installed. Oh, they have you do one more connection. They want you to go from the ground to the ground block, and this is the connector on the circuit board that they are showing in the pictures. So this can go to any place here. I guess I'll just kind of make it go down to this one here and make it kind of long in case I need it. So these screws are pretty big. I think I'll just have to put this underneath of one of the screws, and I'll have a little wire from the cord, from the high voltage cord, go in there, and that'll be the ground for the cord and for the circuit board there. Okay, so onto the cable for the high voltage AC. So I'm just going to cut a piece of this cable off so that I can make a plug here to plug it in. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to trim some of this away for this connector here. So it'll go in like this. So I'll just make it that long. There we go. There we go. Oh, it's got some string inside of it. So this thin one here, I think that's the pilot. And you got your positive or your negative voltage and your positive voltage and your ground. So yeah, that's all of them. So going into the charger, they've got this gland nut, and let's see how long this needs to be. Something like that. And then to go all the way over to the grounding strip, oh, it's gonna have to be real. pretty long. So I guess like that, which leaves me a little bit of room. All right, so that's both sides of that one taken care of. And I'll work on the long cable end. So I'm just gonna open up the parts for this connector that I'm gonna put on. See how all this goes together. Just gotta get the wires up there, so I didn't need to make them this long. And then they screw into place. So I'll just strip them and screw them into place there. Let's see, for this side I don't need the pilot wire, so I will cut that back. And one of these over here. That one over there. And that just will fit up in here like this. All right, so I'll just do the same thing on the blue wire. Okay. Now I just got to do the green one. Okay. So something like this. So it looks like it has a cable clamp. It must just screw into that. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's threaded. Yeah, okay. Okay, so it's all screwed together now. And one thing of note, this particular connector, you can set it up for the 6-30P or the 6-50P orientations. They give you another one of these bars for the 6-50, and this is the 6-30, so this is the 30 amp variant. Okay, so I'm gonna get these gland nuts attached. Oh, they got like a little rubber washer on them. Looks like this part here is fixed, that doesn't move. my little cable here. Yeah, that'll work. Just like that. So let's see if this will lock onto the cable. Oh yeah, it does a good job. So I can run either one of these to each one. So I guess I'll just do the blue one here and the yellow one there. So this is going to carry the 240 volts. Maybe I'll do it like that. I'll carry the, each one will be 120. And so together it'll be the 240. So I'm going to have to feed this one on top of the green wire for the circuit board. Good progress for the day. I think I'm going to have to call it a night and keep on working on it tomorrow.